What's up guys, my name is Alpinestars, this is Brake Magazine and you're watching MiniTip Monday. This week on MiniTip Monday, we've come out to a tiny country road to give you a lesson on how to turn around in a tight space, how to do an awesome, perfect U-turn, even when you don't have a lot of room to work with. So step one of learning to turn in a really tight space is learning to use one foot on the ground rather than riding with both feet out. Most people are taught to ride with both feet out all the time when they're doing slow speed stuff. It kind of feels more comfortable, but there's some really big holes in that when it comes to turning around. The first issue with that is that when you have both feet down, you have the bike completely upright. So even when you turn the bars all the way to the steering lock, you don't really have any lean angle, which means your turning circle is much bigger than it needs to be. So if we go from 2 feet on the ground to just your inside foot on the ground, so the foot that you're going to turn around, then all of a sudden our turning circle becomes much smaller because the bike leans over ever so slightly. That lean is really helpful. So when we take both feet and put one of them on the foot peg, all of a sudden the way we balance needs to change. So instead of relying on our foot on the ground being our point of balance, we're actually just going to use our internal balance to maintain the bike's uprightedness. That's a really weird way to say that, but we're going to run with it. So that means that instead of using my inside foot to be the thing that keeps me up, I'm going to put my weight through my bum and just sit upright. When you sit upright, you'll feel that you don't need to do anything special to maintain that balance. So if you lift your foot up, you don't immediately fall over, then you're probably balanced. Part 3 of this is then learning to control the speed of the bike. We're going to use first gear for this, and we're going to use the clutch entirely to control the forward momentum. The clutch is not a switch, it does not come in and go out. There's a huge area which we can play to control the speed. So the idea is that you feed the clutch out a little bit and you're nice and smooth with it, and you find a pace that allows you to turn your turn without the bike feeling like it's going to run away from you and without moving it in and out so much that it's going to stall. Once we've got the hang of that, the next part of doing a great turn is looking where you want to go. Just because there's a wall or a grass bank or a curb at the edge of the road doesn't mean we have to look at that. As long as they're not moving too fast and a little bit out of control, if you look around the corner at the direction you want to be headed in, you'll find it much easier to perform a tight turn than if you look at the thing you don't want to hit. The last part goes alongside that whole idea of balancing through your bum. We know we can hold ourselves upright just by lifting our foot off and having our weight through the bike. We've generally got good balance anyway from being able to ride. So the last part is taking really big steps with your foot. Your foot works more like a guide than your crutch for stability. So you wouldn't walk normally by shuffling about like a person whose hips don't work. You generally take quite big steps when you walk, and you should do the same when you're trying to turn tightly. And the last part of learning to do this really well is to actually practice it. Go out and do some tight turns. Whenever you turn around, make a real good habit of learning to use one foot on the ground and be nice and smooth with the clutch. You'll find that really quickly, it transforms your ability to turn in tight places and feel comfortable at car park speeds or get yourself out of sticky situations. And that's about it for this week's mini tip. It was a short one, it was a sweet one. Let us know down in the comments if you like it. Remember, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. And remember guys, life's better when you're riding.